welcome back to 3 Generations Restoration. As you can see, the Allis Chalmers Model D road grader is in the paint room, and we've taken about 5 days of just getting this thing ready, getting this thing clean, getting this thing to our expectations for how good it's going to be for paint. I've masked every single hydraulic line I can. I've masked everything that I think should not be painted, and we are ready. So we got the blade lifted on blocks so that can get painted. I've got all the grease off of this thing. We've painted a few spots that needed paint before the hood went on. And yeah, she is ready to go. We painted our cylinders that are extended, like our lifts, our tilt, and our side shift. And all of our handles are masked up too. So now it's gonna get painted in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, everybody, here it is in all its glory. It's got a little bit of a milky color on my camera, but it truly does look good. I think it's gonna look a lot better on camera when we get outside. So if you guys remember, the tires on the back and the front were like junk. I'll give you an example here. Here's one here, and especially there's another front where we'd be driving these and rubber would be flying off of them. They were about ready to blow. We are going to keep these just because they are pretty rare, especially the narrow 825 20s. So we ended up getting some tires. They're a little bit bigger. This is a 920 tire, so it's a little bit taller, but it's got pretty much the same split rim on it. So a couple of these are recaps. This will be a rear tire. This will be a rear tire. This one here is a rear tire. And then we got 2 fronts that are the same tread, a little different tread than the rear. But we really want to have matching tires for especially the back, so we can keep the chains pretty even on both sides. So here's our last tire. They're pretty good shape. Some skidding on them. Some are recaps like I was saying, but we'll go ahead and throw these tires on. I think we'll start with the back, work our way toward the front. I'll show you putting one on, and then I'm gonna time lapse the rest. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start with this back tire here. We're gonna go ahead. There we go.
They're gonna work?
Yeah, they should. Not hitting the, no.
Okay, boy, this might look good. How's that look?
That actually looks pretty good. Our 6 lugs. We're gonna go ahead and get these started on now. You're gonna want the actual, right here, the lug to face onto the split rim. That way it clamps it down. Start with that right there. We'll kind of make our All right, everybody, so we are going to be currently making the seat real quick for the grader. You just saw us putting the tires on, and we got our Michael Myers knife, and we got some seat leather and some foam. You can get this all on Amazon, and it's pretty thick and it's really nice to sit on. We've used this on multiple different tractors. First step you're going to do is you're going to measure out a piece of plywood, and we've already got this done. We're going to go ahead now and we're going to mark how big of a piece of styrofoam we need, just like that. You can take this now, set this aside. Now I'm going to set the camera down, and we're going to take our Michael Myers knife and cut this out, and oh, well, maybe not. I'm gonna take our Michael Myers knife and all right, so we just cut out our foam insert. Now we're gonna flip over our leather upholstery, the actual top of the seat, and we're gonna set the foam in the center here. All right, so we got our foam centered in between this end of the leather and that end. We set the foam centered between the two. We'll set our chunk of plywood on that we measured out previously. My dad is gonna go get the air in the nail gun. Not a nail gun, but almost a staple gun. And we're gonna wrap this just like a Christmas present almost. So we'll show you guys how we do it real quick, and we'll have a all right, there's our other side. And now we'll kind of just do a dry run here.
Like we're wrapping a present.
It's almost just like wrapping a Christmas present. And if many of you know that, tuck in these corners, fold down the sides till you get to a triangle here. And then we can fold that triangle up. Now we're gonna have a little bit extra material here that we're gonna have to work with, and it's obviously a little thicker than Christmas wrapping paper, but it should still work pretty good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead now and bring our triangle up and nice and tight for a nice even look.
How's that? On
this side. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we'll staple it on without stapling your fingers to the seat. All right. Now on this side, you can see how much extra we got. We're gonna trim the fat. We probably had half of this on the other side, so we're gonna end up cutting some of it. So we'll go from there. All right, now we got the other side held up. Staple that down without stapling your thumbs down again. All right. All right, so we just got the tires on. We're missing a few lugs because we had 3 holes that were actually broke off. So we're gonna get 3 more lugs here soon, and we kind of forgot about it until now. We'll go ahead and get the new spark plugs and the distributor cap on. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off. We're gonna go ahead now and put our new cap on, just like that. And then I got the old spark plugs just barely threaded into the holes of the engine. We're gonna go ahead and put brand new ones in here. So go ahead and get each one of these out. And when we were running this before we got it painted, a couple of these spark plugs were actually bad. So I just figured we'd use them to plug these holes so we can put new ones in and get a little bit of an accent going. So go ahead and start each one of these now. And these are always a pain to start. You're probably wondering what that noise is in the background. My dad, my sister, and my aunt are all working on unmasking this thing. It took me about, I would say, 4 hours or more to mask up this whole tractor. It obviously takes longer to mask than it does to unmask, so. All right, we got everyone started. Go ahead now, and I'm gonna have to get a different socket. All right, got the right socket now. We'll go ahead and tighten these all down. Just like that. We'll give it nice and snug now. Perfect. I'll repeat the process on the other three. Alright, all the spark plugs are in now, tightened down. So we're gonna go ahead now and put the plug wires on. And I got a picture of how they came off. So let me find that on my phone. So we'll start off with the coil wire. And the coil wire only really goes on one way. Bigger end of the cable goes on the coil, and the smaller end will go on the distributor cap. Now, our shortest cable, which is this one here, goes in the back and goes to spark plug number 1. You can hear it snap on. Now our next shortest cable, which is this one here, goes here, and then it'll wrap around behind the coil and go right here. Now we have the third longest, which will go right here behind the coil wire. You can hear it snap in. Goes to plug number 3. And then finally the last one, which is a little bit short, too shorter than I like, but it'll work for now, will go here. Hear it snap in right there. Just like that. All right, all of our spark plugs are in, our spark plug wires are on, our coil wire's on, and our new distributor cap is on. We're gonna go ahead now and install the exhaust muffler. All right, we're gonna go ahead now and we're gonna set the muffler down in. Perfect. We can go ahead now and put our clamp on, which is also brand new. Go ahead and get this on. Starting to really come together now with all the highlights here. I'm liking the yellow-black accent. All right, let me get a socket. Go ahead and tighten this bad boy up. Perfect. All right. Now I got the brand new carburetor coming in, and I have to disconnect this linkage here. Pull this off. Should be good now. We'll go ahead and I'll put the linkage on after I kind of get this started up in here, but we're gonna slide this up slowly and go ahead and get the nut in here. I just want to get it started, and then I will lower back like that. To get the other ones started in. Just like this. And if every one of you guys, or if many of you guys remembered watching my previous video on this carburetor that was on this actually would run the machine. But when my dad and my grandpa went to fix a couple leaks on it, one of the bottom jets actually snapped off and we were unable to get the jet out, which was unfortunate. I'm gonna go get a wrench. That's kind of why we're using this. And honestly, this carburetor makes the tractor look even better. So I'm gonna time lapse this real quick and I'll meet you back when the carburetor's on and tight. All right, Iron, you can talk.
I'm done on that too.
Oh, are those, Dad's getting it. All right, so we got the bolts lined up. I'm gonna hook up the throttle linkage over here. All right, finally, we got the fuel line, which I gotta end up touching up here. Let's go ahead and put this on, and if it'll start, there we go. All right, I'll get a wrench. Perfect. We'll go ahead, we'll touch all this stuff up later today. We'll go ahead and do the steering wheel now. Okay. All right, we got a brand new steering wheel right here. We're gonna slide on, hopefully nice and easy. Yep. Here's the nut.
Neutral socket.
Yeah. Oh. Needed to be hit on a little bit more. We'll go ahead and find what socket this is. Keeping the plastic on to kind of prevent any damage to the new wheel. Also, you notice I'm sitting on the seat we just made earlier today. Fits like a glove. We had to do a little tweaking, but fits pretty good. It's comfortable. Most of the time you'll be standing on this grader though. All right, go ahead now and we'll put our... Did you almost just fall? Go ahead and put our nut on. We'll go ahead and tighten her down. It's pretty good right there. We'll go ahead now, we can take all this off. Makes the steering wheel look real nice now. Now, to really set off the steering wheel, we got the center badge. The Allis Chalmers badge right here that we're going to be putting on. So go ahead and take her out of the plastic. This was a pretty expensive piece, guys. This is like, what, 50 bucks? Somewhere around in there. And it didn't even come with the screws. So we'll go ahead and look at that. Go ahead and get this other one in. We'll go ahead and tighten these down. Don't want to go too tight and strip it out, but you want it tight enough. Look at that. That looks pretty nice. Now, decals. All right, so we're gonna go ahead now and put the decals on here, and I'm going to be talking about this after the fact just because doing decals and showing the camera and taking off the backing of the sticker is a big task of itself, and when we like to do these, we like to do them right the first time. So my dad's actually holding the camera, and it's kind of difficult for us to really talk or explain of what we're doing right yet. Otherwise, you need to have 15 different hands to do that. But you just saw us put on the one Allis Chalmers decal on the actual hood of the machine. So you got two small ones of those. And then we just put the D on the side where the seat box is. And then we're putting the bigger Allis Chalmers logo on the square tube of the grater here that you're seeing. And it's nice just to go nice and easy. Like that sticker there probably took a good 5 minutes to get to where I'm at. And these Mylar, I think they're Mylar vinyl cut, I think it's vinyl cut stickers are very finicky and can have a lot of problems if you don't do these right. So it's good to take your time and just be nice and slow about it. We're finishing up that one there. Next one is the other side of the hood. It's another one of those small Allis Chalmers in letters decal. This one we kind of went pretty centered, and it just barely fit with that air cleaner in there, so looks pretty good. We went right above where the old side panel hook used to be. And now you saw the D on the other side we installed, but now I'm also putting on the Allis Chalmers logo, which I forgot to record on the other side. I'm getting it good on this side. This one had two layers of the actual backing, one for the black and also one for the orange. But this modern Allis Chalmers logo really sets the tractor off with the two-tone color of the orange and the black. Doing decals is very finicky, and you got to really pay good close attention to what you're doing, or you could be buying the entire set of decals again, and we have actually had that happen. So it's good just to take your time, and the results really turn out nice if you do take your time. So I'm going to put a little music on for the rest of these decals. We'll catch you guys once those are done. Okay, so all of our decals are on. There is no true real gauge as to where these go, so we put them on where we thought and we've seen on pictures for where these go. So we went right here with this decal, nice and centered, about a 1/4 inch up from the old side panel hook, which are pretty much non-existent and extremely hard to find if you can even get a lead on one. And then for the D and the logo, we went with the D up on top. We centered that up between the 2 bolt holes for where the cab used to be, and went down a little bit to this hole here, went right there at that. And then for the logo, we didn't want to go too far down, we wanted it up a little bit, so we lined it up perfectly with this hole here and centered with the D, and it turned out pretty nice. You just saw the back get done, and we were debating on whether or not we wanted to put that in the front or the back. Put it in the back. Here's the other side. Same thing here. Now for the tube, we put the Allis Chalmers. Oh, I got a little bit of stuff stuck right here. Get that off of there. We got the Allis Chalmers on the tube, lined up perfectly with that light and with the end of the bars here for the tilt cylinder. That turned out pretty nice. This one here is about a little bit over due to the weld being right here, and this turned out really nice as well. We're gonna message the guy we got the decals from and see if we can get one more to put right here. Pretty nice. We still gotta put our little, I'm thinking we're gonna take our last little bit of seat and maybe put some like Velcro straps on the back of it and stick it to the back here. That'd turn out pretty nice. We got a couple things left to do. I gotta touch up all of the lugs. There's a couple other spots to touch up. The fuel line. We got our little intake hose we're gonna put on. And then a couple other things in the operator's platform we gotta touch up. But let's go ahead and unmask the final portion of this tractor. This is the serial tag, and this is what got us started into this restoration process, was this tag, and all the research was done based off of this little 6x6 piece of steel. Of course, the tape does not want to cooperate the way it should. Be a nice, easy there we go. There it is. There's the tag. We're also going to lift up the blade off the ground. We're going to turn it a little bit and side shift the blade a little bit. There's some other spots we're going to hit too. We're going to go ahead and start it up here right now and go ahead and move the blade. All right, everybody, so we're coming to an end with this tractor here for the restoration. We are coming to an end for this video as well. Today we accomplished tires, seat, as well as you saw the tractor before paint and now after paint. We accomplished decals, spark plugs, wires, muffler, carburetor. We got the thing pretty much ready to go outside. We just did get done touching everything up that needed touched up. We got some spots on the table that were missed because it was turned in a spot. We got some spots where the lugs were on the wheels, as well as the actual blade. This thing's gonna look pretty nice when it goes outside. So we'll call it an episode. In the next episode, we're gonna be seeing this thing really grading and really out for the first time in probably over 20 years grading. So we're coming to an end with this grader restoration. And I thank you guys for watching. We got one more video of this, and the restoration will be coming to a close on this 1960s Allis Chalmers Model D grader. Thanks for watching.